ChickPicks. It's time for all the best WNBA picks and plays for the Friday, August 14th WNBA slates on DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm your host, LaRoss Steffen, as always, from NegroJitsu.com. And today I'm going to be bringing you all the best picks and plays for the WNBA slate here today. Relevant news: Diana Taurasi and Kennedy Carter are out. What does that mean? For me, it means Skylar Diggins-Smith is an excellent play. They are going up against a pretty crappy Atlanta team in this case. And so maybe that game blows out. It didn't. It didn't earlier this year, or did it? No, it didn't. They kept it close. So that's an excellent Skylar Diggins-Smith play. But maybe even a contrarian play there is Bria Hartley, who can go off as well and will be much lower owned. You could play both of them in the same lineup, but maybe you pivot off one and go to the other. I don't know, because Skylar Diggins will be super high owned, rightfully so. An excellent play with no Diana Taurasi, but Bria Hartley, people will forget all about her and her ability to come off of that bench and do great things. In the first meeting against Atlanta, she shot 15 times, only made 4 shots. So kind of had an off shooting night there. And if she has a little bit of better shooting night, she could score 30 some odd points. So gotta like Bria Hartley in that spot, and Skylar Diggins. They are both excellent plays out of Phoenix. Also an excellent play would be Brittany Griner. I don't know about her history of dominance against Atlanta. They got kind of a weak front court, but I think that Monique Billings and Elizabeth Williams and them kind of are decent at stagnating her. She only had 30 some odd points in the first game. So you don't have to lock Brittany Griner in, but of course Brittany Griner is, I'd say this at forward, the most obvious high upside plays, or the only really high upside plays here, are Breanna Stewart, Brittany Griner, and Alyssa Thomas. That's it. Outside of that, there's not much upside to be spoken of in these games. We're just gonna have to look for possible spots where people could come through. But Stewart, Griner, and Thomas are the only high upside plays, or the only girls that I see getting over 30 points. And Stewart is in Seattle up against a horrible Dallas team. They could blow that one out. Stewart could or might not make value. And Alyssa Thomas didn't have the most points in this first matchup against Chicago, but who cares? The Chicago front court is not prolific at all. Alyssa Thomas should bounce back and have a great game eventually. So now I think I pretty much ran down the forwards there, or the top forwards, while speaking of Griner, because there's just not many. Let's go through some great guard plays. So we had Skylar Diggins-Smith. I also told you that I liked Bria Hartley against that Atlanta squad. People are going to forget about her. But Jasmine Thomas is, she has consistently had solid performances against this Chicago squad over the years. She's an excellent play. She scored over 40 points against them in the first matchup. Not that I'm necessarily expecting that kind of output again, but Jasmine Thomas is an excellent play here. I believe you should have your exposure. Value play of the night, or at least one of my favorite values now. Blake Dietrich. Dietrich played 40 minutes with no Kennedy Carter and scored a shitload of points in their last game out. She scored 30.75 points against a very tough Seattle defense, mind you. 30.75 points and played 40 minutes. Played every minute that's available up against a tough Seattle defense. Blake Dietrich is like the best. She's my superstar value play of the day. Because if she goes out there and plays 40 minutes again, there's no reason why she shouldn't score as much or more than she did against that tough Seattle squad. So we got Skylar Dean Smith, we got her teammate Rhea Hartley, we got their opponent Blake Dietrich and Jasmine Thomas. Those are my top guard plays. Some other relevant guard plays: Kalia Copper. Kalia Copper put up 31 points against Phoenix a couple days ago when these guys faced off, or excuse me, against Connecticut. Put up 35.25 points, and her shot volume and minutes are not going down. She is going to get slept on. She's only $7,400. Excellent play in Kalia Copper. Is there any other standout guards to me? Enrique Ogunbowale, not so relevant against a very tough Seattle squad. I don't like that one. DeWanna Bonner is always a great play, but did not have the best shooting night against this same team a few nights ago. Only scored 31.25 points. On a better night, she might score up where she usually does at 39 points. But I think we can kind of get away from DeWanna Bonner and get to some cheaper guards and maybe fit more of these forwards in. That might be the strategy for this slate. As far as potential values at forward, I don't, like I said, Kalia Copper and Blake Dietrich are my favorite guards. From a standpoint of forward, I would say that value is kind of hard to find here. It really is. Natasha Howard is too cheap, especially against a weak Dallas front court at $6,900. She's going to blow that salary up one game this year. It's going to happen. Alicia Clark at $8,400. She is consistently scoring around 25 points. That's not bad. $8,400 is a bit much for her price, but and the game could blow out. She's a relevant play. She's consistent and she doesn't miss too much. Isabel Harrison has been getting more consistent minutes. Maybe she wasn't playing so much because of an injury. And Glory Johnson is $6,000. I mean, she is, she's playing about 20 minutes a game. She scored about 12 points in this spot a few days ago. If she were to get 20 at that price, that'd be really good, but maybe not. I guess the more relevant punts would be if we're gonna just all out punt. Kalani Brown at $4,500 didn't play a whole lot of minutes last game, possibly because of the blowout. I would have thought they'd be trying to get her as much minutes as possible. But with the front court pretty healthy there with Gloria Johnson and them, I don't know how much time they've got for her to give her. But Kalani Brown is a relevant punt play. And Nia Coffey is relevant. She has been playing more minutes lately. 24 and 21 minutes. Put up 20 points against a very porous Dallas defense, and this Atlanta front court is kind of similar. Nia Coffey played for Atlanta, so this is kind of a revenge game. Nia Coffey is an excellent value on punt on DraftKings, and super punt, super duper punt. Megan Gustafson gets a lot of blowout run in Dallas. She is former Naismith winner, and if this game blows out, which it very well could, Megan Gustafson can get like 10, 15 minutes. She can do some good things. Got 10 minutes against Connecticut, only scored 5 points, but that was 1 for 5. So imagine if she goes 3 for 5 or 4 or 5 for 5. It's a super duper super punt, and it's kind of dependent on the blowout. But Megan Gustafson is a pretty good player, and she will get the blowout run, and there could be a lot of it here. So that's a super duper duper punt Megan Gustafson. If you like all the rest of your roster and you get down there, you got $3,200 left. Gustafson it's a risky punt, but it's super relevant because Seattle has a great chance to blow those girls out the water down there. Let's go over to FanDuel now and go for my top picks here. A little bit of a different pricing sector here. Of course, Skylar Diggins-Smith is an excellent play. Play at $6,900. Jasmine Thomas, not so much. She's a bit expensive here. I think she could have a great game, but at $6,600, they're just some cheap guards that I like, that I'd rather try and target them than go all the way up to Jasmine Thomas, who on DraftKings, she's a bit of a steal. Bria Hartley, we discussed her over on DraftKings. Not as great a play as on DraftKings at $5,900. Still a bit expensive for a player that might could get 30 points and might could not. Of course, DeWanna Bonner is always relevant. We will be trying to cram her in. I don't think this is a slate. I think we want to focus on expensive forwards on this slate. But let's get to some of my more favorite guards, because usually on FanDuel, cheap guards and expensive forwards win. I like Skylar Diggins. Courtney Williams is an excellent play. She had a very off-shooting night, but played 31 minutes in her last game and was not very good shooting and still had a decent score. So I think that Courtney Williams scored 18.9, but was like 4 for 17 shooting. Terrible shooting night. Yeah, 4 for 17 against a terrible. She had 7 rebounds, so against a tough Seattle Storm team. If she hits a couple more of those shots, she could be up in the high 20s to low 30s. She's not going up against that tough Seattle team anymore. I don't know what she might have scored. Let me check her score against Phoenix a couple days ago. When she was not starting, she was coming off the bench. She's starting now. She scored 12.8 in 20 minutes. And had 9 rebounds in 20 minutes. This is a great spot for Courtney Williams at $5,300 with increased usage in the starting lineup. So, love Courtney Williams. Kalia Cooper is going to be forgotten today. Kalia Cooper, everybody's going to forget about her and the fact she put up 35 points against the same Connecticut team a few days ago. She is an excellent play. And then, of course, I'm going down here to my smash value play of the day, which is going to be not Clea Charles. Clea Charles was a play I liked a couple days ago. She is in the starting 5. She's a decent value as well. You might go with some Clea Charles. She scored about 20 points in her last game. But Blake Dietrich here. Blake Dietrich played 40 minutes, scored 28 FanDuel points against a very tough Seattle team. Smash value play of the day. Get some Blake Dietrich. And this is more of a punt, I think, because it's not necessary. Kayla Charles. I don't know if she was in the starting lineup a couple days ago, but yeah, Kayla Charles scored 20 points against Chicago a few days ago. That would be kosher at $4,000. So get some Kayla Charles. That's good stuff. That's going to do it. Oh no, it's not. My bad. It's going to do it for the guards. Let's go to our forwards here. We'll do our forwards here. Once again, not many smash forward plays. These smash forward plays, of course, the high potential plays are Breanna Stewart. Hopefully the game doesn't blow out, and if it does, hopefully she's the one that's leading the blowout. Brittany Griner against Atlanta. Brittany Griner should have a decent game. And Alyssa Thomas against Chicago. I'm thinking at least one of those girls is going to be on the winning lineup I'm not sure how that's going to shake out exactly. Maybe you could try and fit all three. I just don't know where you go for value though. I don't necessarily think you need all three. Possibly two, because I don't know about the rest of these girls. Alicia Clark is an excellent cheaper play, I think. Cheyenne Parker, Branton. Isabel Harrison has been getting good minutes. That's relevant. Natasha Howard. Listen, there's no reason why Natasha Howard should be $4,700. She hasn't been in good form early on in this season, but that she was the league MVP last year. Natasha Howard can ball. She's just kind of, well, how would you say? She's kind of dilly-dallying around to start the season off. Not the biggest whoop in the world, but Natasha Howard 4,700 is a wonderful play. Kalani Brown isn't as great of a punt as she was maybe a couple days ago when she was near minimum, but 3,600 isn't bad for her. We got to get those smash forwards and then find our value. Nia Coffee at $3,800 isn't probably a better play than Kalani Brown. But I like that Natasha Howard at $4,700. She's going to blow that up at some point in this season. It's just a matter of when. She is league MVP quality that is kind of getting lost in the shuffle right now and probably a little out of shape. That's going to do it for this edition of ChickPicks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Go check out NegroJitsu.com. That's my fantasy site. I don't have any premium content right now, but go over there and just sign up. Get you a free child, get in the system. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.